already has BKB for that. You could say it's a bit of an overkill instead of going, for example, hard damage or Butterfly. Butterfly would have a lot of merit here, right? Like, oh, your classic, oh, I'm doing well, I have BKB, I'm gonna just use this Flutter to go in aggressively and hit people, or have the defensive capability of the evasion.
Yep.
But Mansa, I think, is, in this game, is probably the best choice. I like this from B.
This game may go for a little bit longer than at least I was expecting after the first part of this game when we saw TA being shut down. TA has now managed to climb herself back up to the second highest net worth on the field.
Yeah.
13.2k to the 15k of the Shadow Fiend. It's like Invictus Gaming is starting to drop off.
This is definitely within reach for DC again.
Their supports are still poor as crap, but it doesn't really matter once Bulba just triggers Darkness, then they kind of already got the advantage they're looking for. And you see what Bulba's doing. Like we were talking about this yesterday, where a lot of Night Stalkers would move away from picking up the Active Interceptor, just because it's a little bit too much. But I think Bulba's understood that his influence in these fights is just going to be vision.
Exactly. The thing that Night Stalker does nowadays is generally goes Pipe or Crest first to have more teamfight presence. But if you're this poor, your contribution is probably better found by simply playing as a scout. So, you know, at this point he could start buying a Crest if you get a Medallion now. That's just, you know, Medallion minute 28 really, and they already have a Crest on Timber and IG.
They don't want to fight this. Like, they don't want to have to burn a Ravage for a Templar Assassin who has an Aegis the Immortal. She just took 1/3 of your tower HP, and you know Ferev's just sitting out the back, waiting for the perfect time to attack. There's not that much longer left on the Aegis the Immortal. In fact, it's only like 20 seconds now. So it may just be enough where DC, like, you're okay, back out. We did what we came to do. We forced IG to defend their high ground. And now IG smoke.
This could... If DC stick together and break the smoke, this is their way back to evening out the game entirely. They managed to see this opening. Oh, it just expired. Okay,
yeah,
that's
just
the time.
expired. Yeah,
okay.
That's the reason why they backed out. And IG, who are they going to find? Mason. It's a short-range chain. Bobica would have to go for a blind stun. Didn't have vision on the other side of the tree line to use.
That's not the kill they want. Really,
it's the one they're not going to get.
Yeah. They want Abed if they can. His 10-second BKB really, really important.
They find Bulba. But no one else is around, not close enough. Q's already starting his TP out.
Got a bit of aggressive wards out. They got this very good ward high ground, and they got a ward down into this ward Radiant jungle is actually pretty cool. And now Bulba can place one inside this jungle, so IG are trying to just get reads.
Did they just smoke on top of the one?
Oh, I think they smoked above it.
OP is right on top of the Radiant Obs. It's the one big vision blink line. So the dust, it is able to reach OP just on the max range. And Shadow Fiend will fall. A huge streak to end, and the money goes the way of Abed.
Very big. 1 minute on the sidelines. He doesn't even have buyback. They can actually high ground.
But they don't know this. We have this information. They don't.
They don't, but at the same time, if they can force that buyback and lose 1 or 2 heroes, that is worth forcing a buyback for it. The Shadow Fiend buyback is so expensive right now to use, so they must be thinking, okay...
He's short by 65 gold.
If they saw he had the Yasha, they might connect the dots here and be like, okay, he might not have buyback, guys, he just bought a Yasha.
They're pinging bottom. I think they're a little bit indecisive. Do you want to go in through mid? Do you want to go like through the bottom tower, which is already pretty damn injured? Shadow Fiend refuses to buy back. At least this is going to be the perspective for Digital Chaos, so they'll keep their pressure up. XXS putting himself very aggressively on the front lines, trying to dissuade from the attack, while Q attacks from behind. And they're pinging, they want to keep going. This is Mason just saying, guys, focus the tier 3 tower. We can actually make one hell of a dent in the IG space. Air steps up in 5 seconds time. Timber Chain's going to miss, thanks to the Fisher stun stolen from the Rubik. And they've done their damage and they've got out.
Very nice defense from IG. The way they organized this was beautiful. Q came in from the back with haste, stole Fisher, kept Shaker at bay and kept Fizzy. The Tide blinking into Anchor Smash and just running away. DC got scared for a moment, he was going to Ravage, so they hesitate a little bit. He slows down their push a lot with his minus damage. Everyone just contributed whatever little bits and pieces they had to that defense, and as a result they didn't lose the tower.
I'm kind of surprised that TA's... Okay, she's changed her mind multiple times now. Originally, I was thinking you'd be looking for some kind of like silence control against the Tidehunter or like something like that. Then he was going straight dataless. Now is the Sulcurus for up, and DC having the confidence where maybe they can win the Armor War and then push high ground.
AC is going to make it faster to hit buildings for the entire team, so if they get in that position, that's a better choice. Bloodthorn has some merits here. It's very good against Nyx, it's very good against Weaver. It's good against Tide until he gets Greaves, but it seems like he's not interested in that for whatever reason. I would like to see him finish the Greaves. I think they're very good these games still, but it's the hidden factor that people often forget about the Greaves is how good the aura is when people come low. When you're playing against heroes like TA that can make a world of difference for like your Shadow Fiend surviving an extra hit or two, maybe your Nyx manages to get Carapace off because of it, something like that.
Digital Chaos are coming to knock on the bottom door.
Are scanning.
And Invictus Gaming, they're already having to react to it. The Radiant scan doesn't peak. Tidehunter is just okay. Now it does. It pings for a moment, but their observer was scattered out. XSS moved into the bottom lane, and Arbed's already out. He wants to finish his farm. I still didn't think it would be in this game, and the fact that Invictus Gaming is still holding like a 6.5 grand advantage in net worth, close to the same on experience, and it's Invictus Gaming who are on the defense. They're the ones having to always worry about like, what are we going to lose to DC?
Yeah.
Until the next Roshan fight.
They're playing the map well, but it's still, if you look at this kind of tendency in a graph, that is the graph of a team that lost an advantage. You know, it's like, you could argue, yes, they're still holding a 6k lead, but when you have a 6k lead that early and it never grows anymore, then the enemy team has successfully come back in the game, right? Like, the flow of the game has completely changed. That graph could have maybe continued toward 10k, and then who knows, maybe this game could have already been over. But DC made some very good moves, and IG maybe a mistake here or there that allowed it in. And now, Arbed is top there.
He starts with the Yule Scepter, follows up with a stun. They really want to bring down Mason. He has already reactive armor charges up, so 4 stars down. Farev trying to get him out of range. They'll commit the Ravage as well. Lasso dragging out OP while he's in the BKB. Now lets the Requiem of Souls fly. Volva flipped on the edge of it, and Wings will go. OP, double kill for him, and Invictus Gaming finally having more of a one-sided fight they've been looking for a very long time.
They weren't really in a position to help Mason. He was stranded out too far on his own there, and then afterwards, when they try to help him, it gets even worse. Like, that's one of those classic moments with the help a friend syndrome, right? Where you're like, oh, let's go help him, let's go help him. And then one guy tries to help, oh, now I need help, go help me, and then they end up losing 3 heroes in a Roche instead of a Timber. And this Roche would have probably not been lost if they only lost the Timber. They could have delayed it with the Bat Rider being annoying, with TA traps, with just like fissures and stuff, but now it's gonna go the way of IG, and now they are the ones holding a really big lead.
Yep. Aegis Steamwall into the hands of the Shadow Fiend. Burning has the cheese in his backpack for the moment. And this has to be back to the old strat for DC. It has to be evasion now. Just move away from where Invictus Gaming are forcing the issue. They still have to wait for the Ravage to come back up again. There's another 74 seconds before it's available. Without that, they won't feel as confident in the team fight. Basically would have survived if the Ravage wasn't there. Now you get the Assault Cuirass done for Arbed. Maybe that's the other menu we should be looking towards. Who's actually expending their buyback money?
Tide has Refresher. So oh my god.
I wonder if you just, like, say, you sell Iron Talon, pick up Refresher. Or just buy a straight Refresher, that'll work. 4-man smoke, they come for the gank. They don't have the Refresher on him yet, it's still sitting back in his stash.
Yep.
But it's like they're looking for the wraparound. DC are the ones who are also being aggressive, going into the dire jungle. They'll see the camps of farms, so they may believe that someone's around here.
Oh, this would be a good courier snipe. Oh, we could get that.
Does the dire scan actually hit? No, it doesn't. I thought for a moment that Farev would move fast enough to go into it, finds an invis rune, now moves up. The smoke's going to break. They realize that somebody is there, and the vision advantage is there from Victus Gaming. It's Invis, who's going to work wonders for a 4-man Vision, and the Echo Slam follow-up. A huge hit. Abed's already got 2 of them down. OP, Requiem of Souls, able to negate a little bit of the damage, but not enough of it. Abed, it's the dream fight for him. Moves over towards Bobaka, despite Carapace saving his life at the end. Earthshaker, he's trying to finish the job. The stun's not making it easy, but the totem hit will do the work. They'll move their attention towards OP, and a huge fight. Invis in clutch moment, and DC slamming Invictus Gaming down.
It seems like DC just needs a disadvantage in the game, and then they get a good move going. Can't really explain that. That was such an amazing setup. The Invis rune from Forev just paying off wonderfully there, moving and breaking the smoke, getting information, and then a very quick, good reaction on that Fissure move.
And then they get the buyback on the Shadow Fiend, the expensive one you were talking about, and they're isolating the Tide Hunter, looking for the kill. Thanks to a quick push out. Nexus will survive, but the mid-tier 3 falls. Weaver's up in a second. They'll get the Rubik pick up on the Templar
Refresher.
Assassin. Refresher just to get the Ravage off Abed's low, pushing him up in range of the tier 4 towers. He can't escape. The Gem of True Sight is also lost because of this push, and Mason is 1-on-4. Timber is tanky, but not that tanky. Maybe it's enough when he dodges the Impale. He's got chain back off cooldown Shivas as well, but Rubik, that's the second time this game he's stolen Timber Chain and killed Timbersaw with it. But the Gem of True Sight sitting smack plumb between the racks will now be recovered by IG.
That's just the power of lack of information. There's no way DC play like this if they know Tide has a refresher, but they didn't have the information. They went for this high ground push. They were feeling really good, no Ravage, and then out of nowhere comes a refresher, pop, instant Ravage, and they kill the TA, and that fight is over. IG now.
TA has to buy back.
I'm not sure he does. I think he really doesn't want to, at least.
Oh, that's definitely true. I don't think anyone wants to buy back at this position, but like OP bought back, they just defended their mid-ranks, plus got kills to boot.
I think it's more valuable to have the buyback than the Slain of Barracks at this point. It's 38 minutes in, you know that the Shadow Fiend doesn't have one, so if you're one buyback up and a key hero, you kill the SF.
You just let it go.
You have that play, yeah.
They
They also wouldn't have had the Timber anyway, even if TA buys back.
Looking for that exit pick. If they can get anything, they've got the vision. Mason, Chakram forward, doesn't actually connect on Bobaka, who just triggered his spike Carapace for this one, and they find OP. The lasso is there! Echo Slam! Barev's doing it again! But the damage output is still not enough. Mason is trapped. He'll go down. Now Templar Assassin brings in the deeps. Barev's looking for another crack, but he doesn't have the mana. Abed's gonna fall. Bulba would join him in the grave. Digital Chaos, they thought they had what it took, but the tanks were dry. Bone dry.
If they had the TA for that jump, that would have been all the game. I think DC would have won the game there just by killing the Shadow Fiend the second time. He would be out for 2 minutes. IG would have a horrible time, but this excellent connection from DC just isn't enough when their main damage dealer isn't available. Abed was still TPing in on the Shrine, had to connect from the right, so this entire stun duration and all this lockdown is, at the end of the day, it's wasted. It's not enough. They get heroes low, but doesn't matter when they don't die.
Yep.
And
now picked up by Q, straight blink into him, the fissuring, and Forever's done so much work in this game to keep his team in, but thanks to the stolen fissure, Dubu was just locked in position, allowing Bobaka to finish the job. 2 lanes of racks gone, and GG is called. Invictus Gaming will take the series 2-0 against Digital Chaos.
This game got a lot more interesting than I thought it would, though. I think DC in both games are showing some really, really good plays here and there. It's just like they seem to lack this consistency. Like there's still a little bit of mistiming and a little bit of like they're lacking that little.
LGD's turn to pick. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. IGV's turn to pick.
Tide Hunter.
LGD's turn to
Ancient apparition.
IGV's turn to ban. Seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. IGV's turn to pick. Seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. LGD's turn to pick. Mirana. Seconds remaining.
Slot.
Choose your hero. Seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Prepare for battle.
Patience from Zoe.
Brutal, savage, wrecked.
боже, ты посмотри вокруг, что происходит! Это ГГ!
Brutal, savage, wrecked. Brutal, savage,
Боже,
wrecked.
ты посмотри вокруг, что происходит!过两路更好打是吧？玩不了了。
Brutal, savage, wrecked.
Это ГГ! 玩不了了。过两路更好打是吧？
Так, значит, хейтишь мою фразу еще и да ты пофиг, ты хейтер. Очевидно, ты всех хейтишь. В чем твоя проблема?
Pubs and I'm talking about pubs mostly. Yeah, that's true. I mean, I bet that there probably was at least one or two where it was close, but you know, a frame, if it runs at 60 frames per second, that means that it's 1/60th of a second would have to be the instances where it would be the difference. And there's been a lot of games, but I don't know if there's been enough games where with 1/60.
How many games have been? It's like it's a billion or something, hasn't it? Or is it hundreds of millions? I don't exactly know. I know there's been a lot.
There's been a lot of Dota games. Speaking of which, though, we've got another Dota game that's actually finally starting up for us in 11 and Super, punching each other in the face. Eventually, also in this tournament, we will maybe run into the Super versus Super matchup when IGV play against LFY, if indeed that happens. Whoa, dogfights?
Later dogfights.
This is a problem. Not what you want to see early on, and dogfights getting ran down. Just going to create whatever space he can and taunt away to his heart's content.
Might be worth it in skill, gosh. So they're actually going to miss out a lot.
Oh, man. Well, 11, they'll find the kill. He's taunting them away, and is eventually going to find the kill. Who did they give it to? They'll give it to 11. Nice little move for him.
They actually pull 11 Tangos and an Observer. So he is off to a pretty good start. They actually focus a lot more. I haven't seen him very often as the offlaner.
In July here, knows the hero well, will be able to move over and steal himself some creeps. There is a good amount of damage onto him from Ame, and with Victoria showing up as well, I mean, they won't quite be able to do it. Maybe with the jump. That would have been well placed, but they scouted it out. In July, Firefly is wearing off, but not quickly enough, and he will be able to get away with a lot of those creeps.
Yeah, I wonder if he was considering blocking him off, or blocking the creeps off so they couldn't follow him.
Man, look at him, though. The LGD, they don't want to give this away for free here. Making the long trip to even find a deny, and now going to shoot a little wave out there, bring in July even further down.
No, the rain deny. Yeah, why you do this?
Yeah, that's a little unfortunate. So, other lanes. We do see mid, it's going to be the Mirana versus the Death Prophet, with Tusk and Kunkka sort of matching their movements around the map and trying to make sure that each lane gets off to a decent start. You expect, with a Torrent hitting, I mean, what's the sort of, what do you need to find a kill in these lanes?
Mirana views leap.
Okay.
But she's not going to. Unless it's for a kill. So maybe.
You have to wait for the sort of moment to outplay him. Yeah, good so. Thinking about going for it. The arrow ended up hitting a creep, actually, and that could have been the death of him. But let's not end up working out for him. But that's 2 blind Torrents hit by dogfights. He's in their head.
2-minute rune on top. Could be a brawl.
He's getting out of there. They actually do block off Dogfight's path, and with the Orb of Venom, he should be able to run him down here if he can get another touch, but no. Still Paparazzi off to a hot start. Somebody that a lot of people would probably remember from the DAC mid matchup that we saw where he was able to take the win over Miracle and Sunil and the others. Uh-oh. I was watching the kill up top as it looks like 11's going to go down. You'll have to tell me what ended up happening there in just a second, as they are going to lose the Tidehunter.
I watched this super long-range illuminating hit on to Batrider. He wasn't even pounced, too. It was like just the very edge of it. It was crazy. After he got out.
Got it. Well played there.
That's because he was trying to
Okay. We do also see that over here again, it's the Kunkka who keeps on making these rotations in, but it's showing that each of these lanes has potential to find kills on the offlane heroes.
Yeah, even despite 11 having that pretty good start. I don't know how it got so low. He probably like, it's probably one of those situations where he got, did it like crack and proc it all during the thing, or did it like proc right before and then they run on him?
It must have cracked proc right before, because they got the stun. He got the stun out from Sven, and then they found the cold feet immediately afterwards, so they got the full duration stun on it.
July looking to wrap around mid. He's gonna meet Victoria though.
Finding him. Yeah, there as well.
And free view board. Wait, did they see him? I think they did.
Well, they're still scouting. And it looks like they are going to be able to go for it. Or not.
It's a surgery board.
2-1 start. Feels like LGD having a little bit better time in the lanes. Some of that is because Batrider ended up heading back to the jungle too and gained a nice bit of farm, but Tidehunter able to stay in lane a little bit longer, is almost level 5 and has a soul ring done.
Pounce on bottom lane. Almost has soul ring done?
He has it done.
Okay. Oh, even with a keeper on his team. Could value this game. You get that item first, 11.
Yeah. He's going to be going for it. It does look like they're trying to set up for something there, but with Coddle in the area also, it would be a really hard kill to actually make happen. They end up getting another deny there as well. But for now, it's just sort of Radiant, mainly allowing Ame to farm freely while they're going for a kill. Kind of mapping around, making stuff happen.
Oh man, the smoke with 3 people. Maybe he does have 3 Spirit Siphon charges.
See if he can make it happen. He'll have a lot of regen in just a couple of seconds. Doesn't end up throwing them out yet. He has 1 on the Ancient Apparition, but the regen not nearly enough to blow him up. I mean, that's what happens when you bring 3 heroes to a lane.
Yeah, they actually did not need a smoke, but I'm sure they expected I don't even think any hero would have been able to save that.
Yeah. So Yao, in the meantime, can kind of go for trying to pull the creep wave past with Illuminate Blast, but he doesn't know where everybody is, and it's another big rotation in. Combo of dogfights and super, as well as the damage from in July. Slark could be in trouble if he ends up stepping too far forward.
He's almost 6. He's really close. Slark also has night vision, so he cares that much.
Oh, bounty!
Trying to see what the heck's happening.
Sakata forced to retreat. He is fine. But it's still top lane where 11 is just getting everything that he wants. And like Paparazzi has to back out and, you know, use his stun to create that little bit of separation. Old 11 still hanging on to Ravage if he wanted to use it, and with maybe heading up towards the north as well as Victoria, they might just be able to take this tower.
Yeah, I think it's worth blowing extra. It's not like they're going to lose mid as a result because the keeper is going to be
Dire's
there.
top tower
But
is under
looks
attack.
like maybe it's looking in deep for Paparazzi. This is real deep.
Oh my god, they're so far in. Paparazzi will not be found, but like the fact that he's just being bullied out of his own jungle at this stage of the game, it's pretty indicative of how this is going. And there's just been no pressure on Baby at all. Or Ame rather. He has the recipe for Midas and, you know, almost has the gloves of haste. So mid lane, Sakata caught, is gonna leap, but it's not quite in the right direction. He manages to get the other side of that shards, but the snowball's gonna fall forward. They're up on the cliff. Kinda doesn't matter. Now the stun onto 2. Looks like they'll be able to back out yet again.
No tower damage.
Dire's top tower is under
I mean, it's a
attack.
decent exorcism because they got killed, but looks like they will just be able to claim the remainders of a stag.
Yeah, and in the meantime, you do have 11 that's dealing the damage to the top tower by virtue of just killing off those creeps constantly. Paparazzi throws out the stun onto Victoria. Baby is also in some trouble. They don't have level 6 right now, no other stuns. And the turnaround is coming, actually. A big jump through. Death Prophet healing back up as well. Has all the Spirit Siphons, but not enough to keep him alive. And 11 too late with that Ravage. They end up losing their DP.
So greedy. Try to go in, but his ulti expired. They did set up a pretty good ward there, but that's a short value. Oh, 5 heroes.
That's the way you want it.
And it's too deep too. They didn't actually get any damage on the T1. I think I would have rather have seen them go for just the kill into the tower, but the shards actually push Sakata out of the gate rather than trapping him inside.
And CS-wise, you can see that all of the top of it is hemmed in by the LGD team. Net worth, sort of a similar story, with the exception being that you do have Mirana as well as Sven. They're still fairly high up there. But Exorcism still in full enough for 40 more seconds. They might use it to next time around to take down the mid
Dire's
tower and
top
finally
tower
finish it
is
off.
under attack.
So next couple of minutes here, how do you see this game playing out for both of these teams? Is Paparazzi just gonna, like, can he fight it all, or?
Dire's top tower has
Not
fallen.
really. Just trying to do ancient stacks as much as he can. I think it's mostly them just you kill Death Prophet, you slow down your pushes. And you don't want the Slark to be very big. He had Midas, he's going Midas, he already has Midas. He went a bootsless Midas too. Earlier than you would normally see. Sakata goes for the arrow onto
Dire's top tower is under attack.
yeah, it's mostly just trying to slow Death Prophet down, but nobody's top. He just gets a free extra
Radiant
in
are
his tower.
scared.
Maybe it's pretty underleveled. Relative to some other heroes in this game. Yeah.
Dire's
But that's what happens
structures
when
are
you die.
fortified.
Move around and keep alive. They aren't able to use the Ravage too. Like, IG Vitality just aren't interested in fighting. No Blink Dagger on Bat Rider, no items yet on Sven, so no really good reason for them to fight right now. Unless they want to save the cap or something, in which case they would probably go off.
It's really interesting to me because you definitely see a way that like LGD is really focused on shutting down the entire span of safe lane towers along the top and then just like staying in the jungle. It's the same type of play that we saw in last game from LFY. Like, they're sort of focusing on taking down both of the safe lane towers, both tier 1 and tier 2, before they go for these other, like even the mid-tier 1 tower.
Well, they have the line to do it. With the Death Prophet, you definitely want to use your ulti. You don't just want to farm neutrals. Maybe in the downtime with your ultimate, but
But I
just
mean,
like yesterday when you were so happy that anyone uses black hole. Similar story. You just want to use those skills early. Sounds simple, but oftentimes it's too.
Well, the hood almost completed for now for Tidehunter.
Look at Paparazzi just running up that stack. This is why you need to take down the T1 so you can stop this from happening. They see it, they have the observer ward there, but they can't actually maybe with the smoke.
Wraparound's coming. Ame is there. That's going to be a dead Paparazzi. And Ogro, great way to stop that. Sakata is still here as well. The Moonlight Shadow taking
How
effect.
did Ame wrap all the way around without anyone seeing? I don't actually know the angle that he put. Out here, boom, tower. So let's see, he had to come from the left side. That's a tough one to give up. Sun's already a slow hero in terms of when he can actually come in and out. It's going to delay it by a few minutes. They may be able to take this without access.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
Especially now that AA is 6.
This felt like a very different game so far. And you've got a lot of farm on these heroes. I feel like it's so hard to just walk into 11 now. I mean, he can basically do whatever he wants. With Kraken Shell up at, 3 points in it. He's got the hood completed.
Yeah, he can do whatever he wants. Except for force vitality.
No.
Right, that's what he really wants to do.
Bounty!
He is alone up here in the top lane. They're going to bring in the Ancient Apparition as well. He does have his level 6. So that is something that is going to be at least under the usage of IG Vitality pretty shortly here. And I'll give them another avenue for dealing with the Death Prophet. Like, if DP can't regen from Spirit Siphon during these fights, that's one pretty big thing for him.
Yep. Got to worry about the snowball, though. That's the thing. Like, if they blow all their spells too early, and they snowball to save, they could be in a little bit of trouble, especially if it comes when that bow wears up. So, still waiting for the Blink Dagger coming out from Injuly. He still is a couple hundred gold away, but looking at his inventory, no Tranquils. I think it's a big giveaway for LGD that Injuly is pretty close to his Blink Dagger and is. That's how you kind of gauge what he's going to go for. If he went for drum 2, would have already had it by now.
Paparazzi again just farming out these stacks. Looks like we have the rest of LGD walking up the hill. He had just used Mask of Madness, so he can't stun right now. It's just now wearing off that silence, but already a bit too late. And Paparazzi going to fall. That was Exorcism used as well, but maybe he is going to head up towards the north, take down the tier 2 tower. And again, it's the focus on the top tier 2 as opposed to the mid tier 1.
They think they can do both, maybe? Yeah, that
Dire's top tower is under attack.
That's what I was saying. It was the same thing that LFY was doing last game for VP. Like they're focusing on the tier 2 tower top as opposed to the tier 1 mid. I don't know. Maybe we'll see more of that as the TI goes on.
Yeah, maybe they can play it around Roche a lot better. I don't know. That T1 tower is pretty important. But with this, they pretty much have full control of this
Bounty!
I would say. They can wrap around from every which angle.
So Omni now, he is building towards the Shadow Blade as well. They're going to be able to deward this, give that gold over to the Slark. Still not really any way for Vitality to move around the map and make things happen without LGD having an inkling that it's going on.
That Rider is blinked, so now he can do it. They just need to smoke up. But that's the thing. Who's going to follow up? Is it going to be a Murana who rushes the Fusel first? That seems really risky by Sakata. I could see this going really poorly for them.
So the idea is that what's the benefit of going to Fusel Blade over something like an Aghanims or what have you?
The Aghanims build has been phased out for the most part. Just because the right click scales a lot better, and I think with Sven on your team, you definitely want the lead attack speed. I think we have seen some triple arrows here and there, but overall you'll get way more value for the attack speed. But the Diffusal versus, I would say other right click damage items are Maelstrom, Yasha, and Lance.
Okay.
Maybe I would say like Lance is pretty decent here. There's a lot of stuff that you want to stay away from, like Blinding Light, Death Prophet with her spirits, Spirit Siphon, Ravage, Fusel Blade, yeah, Ravage, Snowball. Like, there's tons of things that you like get me away from that. I think the thing I dislike the most about the Diffuser Blade, it leaves her super vulnerable to being killed by Slug. You don't want to be in a situation where you're gonna get solo killed by Slug. He also went for the agility talent at 10, so he has very little HP. And one Shadow Blade hit into a Dark Pact Pounce could just spell imminent death. May gets scouted out by the Sentry Ward. They drop it out. And he's like full right click right now. The plus side is it will be able to nullify Death Prophet's Yule Scepter. That'll be pretty big.
And now they've caught him. Just for the moment, the Ice Path is going to be down as well. A hell of a lot of damage. Blast blew up. It does not connect onto the rest of LGD though, and 11's starting to take a good bit of damage, but like I said, that pipe there as well as the Kraken Shell naturally just going to keep him a little bit tankier, and now the X pulls back in 11. Torrent follow up, the right clicks are there. IGV are able to make something happen with that Blink Dagger being revealed by the Batrider.
Maybe it was just way too far out there. They need 11 out in front to prevent these like heroes from thinking. And not on the strength of this tower down there. I mean, at the end of the day, it's still a 1-point tower grade, but it's a big net worth swing in favor of IG Vitality. We're just completely unprepared.
And it does feel like they've now gotten into an angle where they can start to make things happen around the map. They can find some kills, and certainly needed at this point in time of the game.
I doubt they'll be cut. I doubt they'll be that unprepared. Like, there was just a lot of things that didn't happen in the fight. There was no Ravage, there was no Snowball save, Lightning Light because Yao was pushing mid. There was no Slark to scout out these heroes that need to be able to get the jump. And now that the abilities are down, maybe it was just an intentional sacrifice so that they get this out of the breed.
Hey, there you go. That's the way to do it.
I don't think that's the case, but
that is the plus side.
May looking for the solo kill.
This is that territory where Slark is just so frustrating to play against, but still, like you said, now without those big ultis on cooldown, off cooldown, it's gonna be another moment.
Oh, Sven has Blink Dagger now. This could be really bad. Maybe did not go for any armor item. No Veil, which is pretty commonplace on him. Yeah, Yules or drums, drums or Veil, but no armor on him. No Vlad, no Medallion. Oh, Solar Crystals are very common, but no.
It still could happen. He's showing himself. The blink was already there though, so they won't be able to at least catch them off guard. That being said, are LGD really gonna walk into this right now? Ame is just gone. He ends up getting blown up by the Ice Blast, and LGD are gonna follow suit in just a second here. This seems so bold for me. Unless they can find a quick pickoff on Paparazzi and trying to do it the snowball forward, they don't quite catch.
Yeah. He did Dark Pact off the lasso, but he was still hit by 8 too, so no Shadow Dance for you. And they're not really playing together as 5. Look at 11. 11's never really there. You said he can do whatever he wants, but he's choosing to farm over helping his team out in team fights. There is no lasso available to them, so they are getting something out of their ultimates, but they're giving away really big kills. First on Slark and 2 others, first on Death Prophet and then 2 others, now on Slark. So that's just able to IGV.
Yeah. Granted, there are still very strong moments in this game when you get your items. Yao is only around 800 gold away from finishing off his Aghanim Scepter, and when Coddle gets that, the siege that we've seen be pretty powerful becomes even more so. But you would love to not be giving up those type of kills at this point in the game. For IGV, is it just more of the same? Like, it feels as if they're just playing around their cooldowns and then sort of waiting almost for LG to run into them.
Yeah, what LGD are doing, they're like flashing heroes, they're like showing heroes and saying, like, for example, 11 was just from the top, and then they're not really recalling them quickly enough to the fight. So they're seeing these like small opportunities where LGD, they're like, oh yeah, we can farm this lane now. And then, oh yeah, we can farm this lane now too. We can get there really quickly, we can just TP into that in those seconds where they aren't there and they're getting recalled. IGV strike, they just use the hero before they can even they also can have good Death Prophet did go for a good defiance, but he's going to break from the Murata, and no armor might be his downfall.
Well, top lane is where the LGD team continues to push. Still no Roshan taken. Maybe a little bit surprising. You We've sometimes seen teams that run this DP Tidehunter just walk into Roche and dare the other team to come and fight him, but
AA back.
yeah, I guess that's the scary part. Apparition's a good hero. Ame might just find him as Super walks up towards the high ground. We'll see if he tosses his ulti out. Will indeed do just that, and now Batrider pulls back into Slark. I don't know if they're actually going to be able to kill him throughout the duration of this, though, as the chase is going to come. The arrow comes out. The torrent ends up connecting. Dogfights makes it happen. Super gives his life for the cause.
Ame just got completely outplayed there. His pounce got blocked, and then he got torrented as he was trying to run away. Wow. Normally you see Batrider counter by Slark. He's playing very well. He knows how to deal with Slark. I'm sure he knows how to deal with every situation considering how many games he has with Batrider.
Yeah.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
So that tier 1 tower maybe going to fall now. IGD have opened it up. The arrow's going to fly out, but does not end up connecting onto anybody.
Radiant's middle tower has fallen.
They're feeling good. The taunts are coming back from Mr. Dogfights. He's got a Glimmer Cape as well. Easy peasy. This lane in this game has felt like what was looking really bad earlier, IGD have really come to be able to respond well.
It's just weird. This is why you don't see the Slark and Death Bomb combination that much. Because Slark, he needs a lot of time to farm it. Death Bomb, you naturally just want to group up and take towers. Same with Tidehunter. So right now it's leaning way more towards what Death Bomb wants to do. But Ame's like, I'm not ready to fight. But he was kind of dragged into these fights earlier where he's like, okay, get vision for us. And then he Shadow Blades. He takes off the lasso and he still dies. And then everyone just chain feeds on the bottom lane. And they're just on completely separate pages right now, which is kind of a natural tendency, I would say, given.
I guess is that also like the Midas sort of indicative of that it was
not really, because what other item would have saved them from these fights? Like Slark's just not an early team fight. Like, he was just not meant for that. So I think like either they need to be way more careful about the way they take 4v5s and then bring the Slark in afterwards, or they just not team fight. Just very safe. He does have a silver.
I had this back at
I thought he was going for a Lincoln Sphere. He's changed his mind about it.
Okay. So what's that going to be? Taking off the cleave from Sven is pretty good. And I guess also just the damage mitigation on it's going to be quite strong.
Can you disable the cleave?
I believe that is one of them that you can disable with Silver Edge. Oh no. Might best more than disable. Ame is there. The jump forward. They caught onto the DP yet again. And everybody is just dropping. Victoria came in to try and save the day. And now they've caught 11 as well. The boat comes out to follow it up. Everybody from LGD is just being torn asunder. And it just doesn't feel like they have an answer at all. They're always being caught out and picked off in these fights.
Currently, LGD are just not looking like a top C team right now. They just... their teamwork is just completely non-existent. Maybe it's just been left out to die in the majority of these fights.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
BKB second item for Sakata. Well, I do like the BKB pick. You have one purely defensive item and one very offensive item. They are just rolling down towers right now. 2 BKBs. So I don't actually... even if they were there, they can just BKB off the Ravage, or BKB through the Ravage, Warcry through the DPO, and just run at the Death Prophet. So this is actually getting quite scary for LGD. Maybe has died so many times that he might be a non-factor, and Slark has also fed away much of his early lead to the point that he is gonna maybe not be able to carry this. It's a little dicey for him.
And I wonder if you even like sort of switch up the game plan at this point, and just try and like build purely defensive to get to the super late game and wait for those BKB charges to get low. I don't know.
They just need to protect the Death Prophet.
Yeah.
Like he just gets lasso and dies. There's no counterplay, no snowball, no Ravage. Again, we have not seen a Ravage yet this entire game from LGD. And finally, they will finally group up as 5. They do have some. Oh, it's the fake. Wow. What?
Okay. Paparazzi is there. They go on him right at the start. They Ravage immediately. BKB hasn't come out. They haven't had an opportunity for it. It is going to connect. They do a hell of a lot of damage. Super trying to run away. The Glimmer Cape from the Kunkka, keeping him alive for the moment. And now the Torrent, the boat follow-up. It crashes onto both of them. It's only to make sure the rest of them can get away. So they take a big kill on Paparazzi.
Dire's middle tower.
Okay, that was some teamwork right there. Nice fake match.
Dire's middle
They'll get a tier 2 tower as well. I mean, do they go for more? Sven doesn't have buyback. I guess it's just Roshan time now.
They don't have DPLT now, so but they can threaten the same play again. I think going inside a pit, as we mentioned before, is not a good idea. Against the Batrider in the AA, but when you wrap around like that, you get the melee range Blink Ravage onto the Sven. That's the way to do it.
And they had enough follow-up with everybody else that it ended up working, obviously.
Now that's the same versus C team. That was sick. I'm expecting more of these big plays though coming out from LGD, where they get the jump, or they protect the Death Prophet. Like she gets the Yules on the Batrider as he blinks in or something, or they able to get the Ravage off with the BKB. And it looks like IG Vitality after those big ults have been taken down. Right attempt Roach. I don't believe that LGD have any sort of momentum. Do dare go up and get last because you scan. It does hit just for a second on July, but it's way too.
Yeah, 11 maybe can walk into there, but you just die instantly afterwards. Kraken Shell is not going to keep you safe from all 5 of those heroes. So IGB, they are in a position now where, you know, it's still a little bit of a net worth lead for LGD, but IGB are ahead in terms of experience. With this Aegis, what do you think their goals are going to be? Finish off all the tier 2 towers? Is it just to keep farming on Sven and get him huge?
They don't really need to group up with the client. They just need to. I mean, they can definitely with BKB, but they're still farming way better than LGD. And I think Mirana and Sven both scale a lot better than the Death Prophet. So I don't think they're scared to really take it a little bit slow. Only problem is they don't have recall. So I think that's probably a primary reason why they're losing out on net worth, is that recall just ups the farm up on your cores so much. BOTs and not having a TP.
Yeah. It has been nice for them to allow that movement around the map. And well, we do see maybe thinking about going for a Bloodstone. This might turn into a Heart. We've seen a couple of those as like a 4th item usually for a Death Prophet. Could be awesome.
Radiant's
yeah, that too.
But
top lane is now where IGB are deciding to group up and push together. With the ultis back up and off cooldown now, LGD always have that option of taking that fight, but for now it's just keep the lanes pushed out with Ame, try and pressure the other towers and see if you can force a response.
Taking the fight that they're
Dire's middle tower.
Slark looks like he is maybe going to try and set up though. They do, I believe, see the Sven, but he was just X'd. So I don't know if that was...
That was to push the creep wave out.
I don't know if it was spotted out by LGD.
Oh, okay.
Probably, likely. That's the thing, sometimes you ping heroes out on the mini map, but you don't actually physically look at the hero, and then you won't see that he was X'd.
Right. Well, and he is hiding right now, staying out of sight.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
That Rider is up there. Has the gem as well, so no, there's no vision in the area. Sven's still hanging out behind. Do not see him.
So risky with Slark. Tree or Batrider could easily be on the left side of the trees and just lasso. It would die, probably lose a team. So I mean, it's very risky.
Maybe they just aren't expecting that Sven is there again, like you're talking about. He hit the okay. Alright, well IGV, they back out now. They took 2 tier 2 towers. They can move mid next if they want. And it's kind of all without a great answer that you have from LGD.
Then.
The fake back. Oh, and they might actually catch him out here. Victoria, he doesn't have a blink dagger to get into range there. Going for that wraparound. I don't believe that that was scouted. Just to see if they can find anybody, but it's not going to happen. That lane is still pushing in mid. Yeah, they realize it's just not going to happen. So 30 minutes in, 7-11, a relatively passive game so far. And it's felt like it sort of had a weird energy at points too, because it's sort of like one team doesn't want to fight and then they all of a sudden jump in, they try and take a big one because they smell an opportunity to, you know, make a play, and then they sort of back out and both teams farm a little bit more, and then it's like a flurry of action, and then it, again, settles down a bit.
It's been strange for sure. It's more so the ideals from LGD that just aren't aligning. Like, I think they're unsure about when they want to win the game. Stark thinks he can carry this. That's what he's just power farming throughout the early. Maybe. I'm not sure if we can take it late. We need to take some towers now so we can farm up more of the map and have a net worth advantage going into the mid or late game. And Stark probably thinks I have the inherently good
Radiant's
matches, so
middle tower is under attack.
I don't actually need net worth, but that's definitely been a little bit off what we should.
In the meantime, while they're all figuring out what it is that they want to do, IGV has a very clear philosophy. Get paparazzi farm. Sakata helps there, enabling him and eventually getting into that leap attack speed with only, what is this, 20 more seconds left for the Aegis. Looks like they are not going to press the envelope. They're going to back out and continue another round of farm, which is, as we can see by the net worth graph, really starting to swing down into their favor because they've just been getting so much more out of the map.
Keep in mind though, a lot of that gold is the PKBs. There's 3 PKBs on the entire side. One on Mirana, one on Sven, and one on Batrider. Batrider even prioritized PKB over the 4-stab. So looks like trying to lead Vanguard as they push past the shrine, and it is Date, and the Aegis just expired. Trifecta of good defense. However, they don't have detection.
Oh no, they need to be really careful right now. Moonlight Shadow is down, and we're not seeing any. Oh wait, Kato has a gem. So they're all huddling around the Kato, making sure they don't catch him. And IGV, are they actually going to make the call to try and push in this top lane and then force IGV back, or force LGB back? They don't have TPs on several of these heroes.
Well, they can just TP.
Okay. Alright, fair enough. Instead, it's going to be a TP towards the bottom lane and everybody gets out. What a weird sequence of events.
Well, LGD wanted to fight because of all those events. I tell you, they know they have better team fight if they get the jump because they can just pop their BKBs and just run at maybe pretty much. As long as they kill maybe early on in the fight, it should be pretty easy. Sark doesn't have BKB, so he can't actually stand the fray.
He is going for a Lincoln Sphere next, so more items just to try and keep that guy alive.
25% attack speed over 10% cooldown reduction. I usually see it.
For which hero?
Stark.
Oh, yeah.
Interesting.
Could have gotten that value out of the Midas, man.
Yeah. I think he's actually pretty cooldown based, too. The other talents that are worth mentioning. Tide got 150 health over 50 damage. Oh, the lost value in farm.
Yeah, that's true. That, God, 35% experience gain is really good. But I guess against the Sven, it's pretty spooky.
Shadows take us.
Another Moonlight Shadow coming through. 60 GPM of the Ancient Apparition really paying off, and are going to run into 11 right here. Is that the target they really want? They're instead going to find maybe yet again. They catch him, they kill him, they bring him down in just a second. BKBs, they're out. No, the Yule Scepter keeping him alive at the moment. Victoria's there for the snowball save, and now they're all grouped up together in July, trying to stay tall in this as well as Ame starts to build up those Essence Snap, taking down Dogfight. He is in a hell of a lot of trouble, and Super is caught in by the creeps over there as well. Maybe is doing so much damage with the Spirit Siphons, and Paparazzi couldn't even end up hitting him. Victoria created that separation with the shards. My God, they're getting destroyed. LGD strike back in a big old way, and when the fight finally happens, they win it emphatically.
Wow. Victoria is by far the MVP of the team. He kited the entirety of the BKBs on these heroes. Those were 10-second BKBs. That is no small feat. He just sat in the snowball on a very far target, and that was like 5 seconds right there.
What? Are you? Alright, Snowball, stay in the snowball! Run away! It doesn't matter, he dies when he comes back out, and the gem is actually on the ground as well!
Ame.
Oh, Ame. Yow now. Where's he going? Another arrow is going to get thrown out. They'll be able to dodge that one, but...
At least they swapped the gem. That was actually very crucial. Yeah, Ame just walked and just died. Okay. I think he should have taken over this game.
Got it.
Yeah.
Resolution would have taken over this game.
Damn.
The Rezo's, I think, widely considered by the pros as the best Slurk.
Yeah.
And he died a lot. He had, how fast was Midas? He went bootless Midas, so it was like
It was
7,
not,
8 minutes.
I think that I saw it there at around like 8, yeah.
I think it's inherently good matchup. Maybe not versus the BKBs early, but he kind of allowed the BKBs early.
Well, what was looking so great for LGD just a couple of seconds ago has now fallen by the wayside, and IGV continuing to assert dominance over this game. Daedalus Sven is done. He's almost at that level 20, so he can get the evasion or attack speed if he wants as well. And then the other big one is Mirana. They don't have an answer for Sakata here, who has his butterfly completed, and Aegis now, he's going to start hitting these towers, and I don't know how LGD stop it.
We'll see. I think, yeah, I don't think you can count on that masterful play by a Tusk again. That's really all. I thought they were.
Leaps away. Yeah, that was the snowball, and then also I think that I saw like a shards blocking the little bit of distance between. That was so good.
The start shard block was god.
Oh, and this is the really nice part too. X and TP's back home, so they. Well, actually now we're maybe going to be a little bit punished by that dogfight. He's trying to TP away to throw out the arrow. Sakata needing to get out of there. He is going to leap away. So dogfights will be the lone death. As the rest of IGV retreat back home.
It's an evasion too. It's unusual. Usually you see attack speed. Evasion is pretty useful. I highly doubt you can get oh, actually, what? Yeah, maybe so.
I wouldn't mind seeing that. They could go for like a halberd for Slark too if they wanted. Oh, Lincolns, there it is. They reveal it now, and now they're gonna have to back out. Now, Angelai trying to run away. The BKB pops out. Paparazzi wanting to hit people rather hard, and Ame shows up as well. Maybe has popped his ultimate. They're throwing out a really good Ice Blast. It's gonna connect onto the two most important heroes, and Ame getting brought down. Sakata was able to get a couple more right clicks, and the Blinding Light actually pushes the Sven into maybe, and In July is gonna fall 11 with the big Ravage. I don't know if it's gonna be enough though. Sakata doing a ton of right-click damage here onto Baby, and Paparazzi starting to drop low. They're all jumped in. The silence is down onto 2, and that's going to be a dead Sven. I don't know if Super is going to be able to do enough when they come back up right now. X is there. Baby is still in some trouble, but I'm not sure if it's going to be enough. Sakata still staying strong, has a Manta Style ready, and turns it now, is starting to deal the damage, and is going to kill off Maybe. Wasn't able to survive through all of that right-click. And another one comes out. It's more than enough damage from this Mirana, who is just masterfully played by Sakata.
Those were some excellent Ice Blast range. Yeah. Those were pretty. I think the first one was really long range, and the second one was really short range. But he connected on this very, very important target. Holy cow, was that big? Everyone's making plays this game.
I know, it's nuts. 8,500 damage dealt by the Mirana too. Like, you would expect it to be the Sven in these engagements, but she is just so farmed.
Yeah, they're not doing a good job of kiting the Mirana at all. She doesn't really feel any pressure. He wasn't able to connect with that pounce before when the fight first started, and then she wasn't forced to pop her BKB until later on in the fight. If you get pounce, I think you have to pop her BKB that early, so you don't get ravaged.
And again, IGV with that lead, now 4K into the bank. Around the same amount of experience. And the talent levels as well. The level 25 on Mirana can be so hard to deal with. He's shooting arrows like crazy. And is now going to be going back for a Mjolnir as well. So wave clear, everything else on her. So that matchup in dynamic between Slark and Mirana, talk to me a little bit about that, because that feels like that's what's going to be the carry role is sort of about.
I think at this point the Mirana is so farmed, the Slark doesn't have BKB, that it's just hugely problematic for the Slark. Like, look at the net worth difference between these two. Normally you don't see this Mirana this far ahead, but she is becoming by far the best right clicker in the game. Sven gets kited too much. Mirana, even with like it's just almost unkiteable, I would say at this point. She has the flutter during the BKB too, so she can just right click anyone at will. Whereas Slark, he just has to pop all of his defensive skills very early on. If he gets hit by an AI splash, he's out for a fight for like 10 seconds.
And A does have an Aghanim Scepter as well.
Yep.
So long duration on that ice path.
Went for Halberd, so like even more to on in the fight. They really need to stop this Roche from taking. But they've given away 2 free Roches already. Oh wait, no. Yeah, it was 2 Roches. Both of them have been a Sakata.
Now with evasion on 3 different heroes. Uh-oh. That's going to be another jump on the Injali. He does pop his BKB though, and thought about sticking around long enough to secure that observer ward, and they're actually still in the area. They could still go for this if they want to, but they're going to back out. But yeah, with evasion now on 3 separate heroes, do you think it's worth it for the Slark to go MKB instead of Scotty, or does he kind of have to go Scotty?
Yeah. To be fair, he's not right clicking that much, yeah. So Scotty's probably especially versus the BKBs. So he's mostly there to control instead of actually damage. And then later on in the fight, once you get your stacks, then you can start working with the monster.
Walk uphill here. No vision as of yet. Kata does bottom out now as well, and they're doing a good bit of damage. Ice Blast comes in, it actually connects. Ame almost is going to die because of the cleave from that right click. We'll have to keep our eyes on him and see if he drops below the threshold. But Popsarty just pops out and blinks away. They have caught this Kunkka here. He gets the silence out as well. And Ame is going to end up dying off to the side. They pop the Ravage, they pop Exorcism, and they only get a Kunkka kill and lose their Slark. This has gone tragically. And now 11 in a hell of a lot of trouble trying to back out and get away. But I don't even know if it's going to be enough. They find that kill as well. Godlike for the mighty Mirana, and Yao maybe going to be the only one who's able to get away from this, but I don't even know if that's going to happen because he has Blink Lasso here as well. No fuss, no muss, not needed. Right clicks are there, and Yao too will fall.
The AA Ice Blast destroying the Slark so badly, and now it just looks like Slark is completely useless.
That was nuts. It was like I think that he would have lived if it hadn't been for like the last cleave coming in from Sven as well. All right, leap attack speed is there, and they are all hitting so hard onto this tower. Oh man, LGD. Are they going to be faced with their first loss of the tournament? Looks like the answer might be yes, unless there's something miracle that happens for LGD.
Just a weird overall play with the dichotomy between that problem and what that problem was. That's the biggest thing in this game that LGD struggled with is like when to fight. They just weren't as 5 a lot. None of the taking, like the Ravage too, like the Titan also, I guess, with the whole death. He should be on the death promise, but he was all farming a lot, and Yao was also farming a lot. We usually see him like, you know, he's somebody who likes to slog a Shadow Shaman, but not to this extent. He was almost non-existent for the majority of the team fights.
And you said that difference in philosophy, it's going to be a... I mean, you gotta all be on the same page at least. It's tough to tell. It's tough to know what exactly is gonna... what's going on.
If it was like, I think maybe the Sven pick threw them off a lot. Maybe they wanted to go for like a Death Prophet Lycan push. And then they were like, no, like Sven. They went for someone who countered the Sven rather than aided in their strategy. And you can see why we talk about ease of execution a lot in these games. And it's very clear from this game that these 5 players were not of a hive mentality. They were not reading the same book. They were not moving towards the same place. They were not trying to take the same because they had different timelines on when they thought that they could win the game. It's not over yet, but it's definitely captaining too. Maybe it's time to go back to the Yao Lich so you can give your team some orders.
There we go. Take a page out of the L and FY book.
Yeah, this is they don't get Roach.
All right, well, let's watch and see. LGD got a lot of damage if they can stay on the targets and get them before those BKBs come down, or possibly kite those BKBs away and then counter-initiate afterwards.
Batman actually didn't go before. That's also pretty unusual. There he goes. Amazing. Gonna be
Radiant's top shrine has fallen.
pretty dead.
They do a lot of damage. They do actually scout these guys out though, and Super now trying to run away, but they had that ward down. There's going to be the Ravage immediately. Super's still alive, manages to get that Ice Blast off. It connects onto several, and now a hell of a lot of damage. Baby is already gone. Super bought back into the game as well. Victoria's out of there. Everybody wants to run away because the big bad IGV are going to chase them down and end their life.
Yeah, Death Drop made it. That's just fallen too far behind. Her time to shine was 20 minutes ago. Paparazzi will clean up the remnants of Senjini's base.
I don't know where I was.
Last hurrah once more unto the breach. Damage coming from Cicada, and they are going to take down the tier 3 tower. A blinding light pushback. Dogfights there as well. They connect on the stun from Ame, and there's going to be the Ice Blast clipped through, so it applies the debuff before he comes out of the snowball. And now, no way out, nowhere left to go. Ame will slowly die as he freezes to death. There he goes, and Yao now down as well. Ame's going to buy back. They pop the Exorcism. They really want to fight. They're not having any of it now. Injuly is going to fall, but already that is going to be tier 3 towers and barracks down, and GG called. IGV give LGD their first loss of the tournament in spectacular fashion.
I think LGD have to be very disappointed with the way that they played this game. They played much better yesterday, and yeah.